always banging 7 gram rock. That's how I roll. I had 1 year ago.
And now it's time for another edition of Weirdest Martial Arts Techniques Ever!
Ready? You know it! Hold on! Let's do it!
Welcome, my friends, to Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Let's get some questions out of the way first. Yes, so far I'm enjoying Power Rangers Samurai. And yes, we will be updating the theme song to History of Power Rangers. It's just I'm waiting for the 6th Ranger to appear before we do so. And yes, I have borne witness to the awesome Super Sentai scene from Gokaiger, in which all of the previous Sentai teams go into a huge, massive battle. You can find it on YouTube if you haven't seen it yourself. Once again, it's time for us to explore the land of things that could have been but weren't. As I stated at the end of the last video, Disney planned to end Power Rangers and just show reruns for syndication, like many of the shows it had acquired from Saban. However, it was suggested that if production was moved to New Zealand, it would save money while still allowing for the show to continue, at least for another season. Amit Bhawmik, one of the story writers and editors on Wild Force, planned what many could consider to be the height of fanfiction style, and yet still incredibly awesome ideas for Ninja Storm. Oh, and speaking of fanfiction, Amit Bhawmik was one of the people behind Scorpion Reign, that fan film / hoax that I talked about during the Turbo review. And he's also the writer of Forever Red. That was all I had planned to say on the subject, and when the videos are already very long, mentioning that fact really wasn't necessary for the 10 minutes I talked about Forever Red. That was all I was going to say concerning Scorpion Reign, other than Amit saying that in his mind, Scorpion Reign was in canon while writing Forever Red. My opinion on its non-canonicity has not changed, nor will it ever. Anyway, his plan has been dubbed as the Hexagon. Essentially, Tommy would return as the head of a Power Rangers Academy, featuring a few other veteran Rangers from across the franchise, kind of a Justice League of Power Rangers. However, they'd be the supporting cast for the 3 new Rangers, the Ninja Storm Rangers, who would be the new prodigies of the Academy. The Phantom Ranger, not liking the idea of uniting all the Ranger teams together for some dumb reason, would fight Tommy on this, leading to a kind of Power Rangers civil war that would end on kind of a depressing note. Given some of the plot elements for Ninja Storm, that might have worked, but I'm reluctant to say it's a good idea. From a budget perspective, it would mean tons of guest stars flown into New Zealand and having to stay there during the several months spent filming, plus Hurricaneger, the Sentai Ninja Storm is adapted from, did not have about 10 other sets of teams running around. That means that if the other Rangers were going to be hanging around and morphing, it would mean a ton of original footage and less Sentai footage, which is a no-no when you're trying to make a Power Rangers show on a tighter budget. To make matters worse, after it was presumed that the show was being canceled, a good chunk of the remaining props and costumes were either destroyed or auctioned off. A lot was saved after the show was renewed, but they still lost a considerable amount of material. So a lot of older material would have had to be made from scratch again. But like I said, from a story perspective, it would have been pretty damn neat. This series gives us Rangers early on who are at odds with the others, which could be adapted into Rangers working for the Phantom Ranger, and Tommy would become the Green Ranger again, along with a nice big gold shield, bringing us full circle. But yeah, realistically, that just wouldn't work for the show. It's a popular misconception that this season was supposed to be completely free of continuity. Former writers Ann Austin and Doug Sloan were returning to the show as the producers, and several comments they made when the series was being promoted led people to this conclusion, along with a few lines of dialogue from the first episode. They were quoted as saying things like, "It's a new beginning," and "Power Rangers lost its luster after we left." The two never actively considered any previous series out of continuity, though, nor did they ever intend it to be a series where Power Rangers had never happened before. Mind you, the dialogue in the first episode doesn't help, but people often need to give first episodes a little more leeway, since ideas and concepts developed for a first episode are often discarded by the end of the series. There's no team-up episode with the Wild Force Rangers, severely disappointing for me, since after what happened in the finale last time, made me want to see them reclaim their jackets and morphers, but this was due to cost and union reasons. Admittedly, with this season, it's easier to claim that there are no previous Ranger teams if you're really going for an entirely original universe than, say, having the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles say it. And no, there was nothing said in that episode to suggest that they're from an alternate universe themselves or something. Everything in the episode indicated that they were in the same universe. However, as we'll see next season, Ninja Storm is most definitely a part of the same universe. Which makes one character saying that they knew that Power Rangers were real something really bizarre. This is not something that people can just ignore. The Power Rangers have been active, known public figures. Lots of buildings have been destroyed. There was a freaking alien invasion! You can't ignore this and say this didn't happen or that no one knew about it. Look at it! Widespread death and destruction. They landed. They made the announcement. The Power Rangers saved the day. But we're getting off track. This is also the first season filmed in New Zealand for cost-saving measures. As a result, the production team began hiring New Zealanders for the parts. Sometimes it works, other times they try to hide their accents and it sounds really, really silly. Ironically, because of the violence of the show, Power Rangers is banned from airing in New Zealand. It's a funny old world, isn't it? The season begins with Prelude to a Storm, with a narration that gives away the entire plot.
Deep in the mountains, secret ninja academies train our future protectors. Ancient scrolls told of 3 who would be chosen above the others. 3 who would become.
What's annoying about this is that it plays at the beginning of every episode, even when the amount of Rangers expands. Still, I can sleep comfortably in my bed knowing ninjas watch over me. The theme song, it's hard to say how I feel about it. I never really liked it all that much when I was watching the show, but afterwards I started singing it to myself and listening to it again. The one weird thing about it, though, is that the first time I heard it, I heard a different song. Power Rangers, begins when we see our main characters doing extreme sports. Tori is surfing, Shane is skateboarding, and Dustin is dirt biking. I should note that this is also the first series to feature only 3 main Rangers to start with, so we're getting something different for this one. The 3 are also already friends and are attendants at the aforementioned Ninja Academy. Then they decide to talk about how Tori is always the reliable one, whereas they're always late. And how do they describe it?
Look, in any group, there are different kinds of people. Totally true, yeah. Think about, like the Power Rangers.
Power Rangers? You've got to be joking.
No, okay, there's always like the mellow, like reflective dude. Then there's the risk taker, the adrenaline guy. That would, of course, be me. Oh, yeah, right. And you, Tori, you're the logical one.
You guys have to lay off the comic book. Seriously.
Ha! Irony. They reach the Ninja Academy by walking through a forest before getting knocked down by other ninjas and throwing off their clothes.